Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan, and today we're gonna get an early look at the new Animal Warriors of the Kingdom 6-inch Pale in his adventurer armor. Yes, my friends, this is the brand new Primal Series, the 6-inch scaled Animal Warriors of the Kingdom figures from Spero Toys. Now, these originally debuted years ago as 4-inch figures, but this new 6-inch scale toy line, 6 or 7-inch scale toy line, is the newest version of this series that is coming out, and these are going to be shipping very soon. This first wave is supposed to be coming out here in February, so Spero sent along a first look here at Pale. We're going to check him out today. So the packaging is very nice. You can see it's a window box fully showcasing the figure and all of his accessories within. As we rotate this around to the side of the box, we've got some nice artwork there. And then on the back side, the artwork continues. We've got a description of the character and a cross-sell showing all of the figures in Primal Series Wave 1. So pretty cool looking stuff. Let's go ahead and get this guy pulled out of the box, and we will get a closer look at the figure. Alright, so we've got Pale pulled outside of the packaging. If I bring in the tape measure, you can see that the mohawk on his head basically puts him right at the 7-inch mark. So, just for fun, why don't we go ahead and start off with a scale comparison so that you can see what these guys are going to look like standing alongside some of the other figures out there. Specifically, I wanted to show them next to Mythic Legions. I kind of felt like that this might be a line folks who collect that one would be interested in, but I also threw in a Masterverse figure, a NECA TMNT, and a Marvel Legends figure. That way you can see how these guys are going to fit in scale-wise with some of those other similar figures on the market. So let's go ahead and get a good look at this guy. And the one thing I want to say right out of the gate is that I am impressed with the overall quality on this. It feels really good. The plastic is solid and not at all brittle or hard. None of the joints were stuck on this, and that feels kind of like a miracle these days, because recently it feels like I've had so many toys where the joints have been fused and I've needed to warm them up or had to worry about brittle plastic breaking, and this guy does not feel like that at all. I mean, everything on here functioned perfectly outside of the box. All of the articulation feels good. It's a really quality made action figure. It is very, very nice. I love the overall sculpt too. He looks really great. It does look like the majority of the figure is just molded in sort of like this whitish grayish plastic of his fur. But you know, we do have paint deco, of course, with the front there, the head, and then the armor that he's wearing looks really, really nice as well, where we've got some different tones of like that red and that maroon. There's some really nice metallics that are sort of outlining the details on the armor there. You can see it over on the wrist cuffs as well, and coming down onto the shin guards, where we've also got these metallic blue knee pads there. All of the paint is really clean. It looks very, very nice, so I like it quite a bit. Face sculpt is really great on this guy too. I love the eyes. I think they look awesome on there. Love that look on his face. And of course, totally love that rad mohawk that he's rocking. Really cool looking character overall. So let's talk about that articulation. I mentioned how the joints all felt really good. So here's what you can expect. It does look like we've got a ball joint, and there's a hinge joint there on the neck as well. So you should be able to kind of roll that head around. Now, he does have these long tufts of hair coming down from the sides of his face in the front, and then the mohawk also has this tail coming off the back. So that will kind of hinder the movement just a little bit. Those are flexible enough that you could still move the head around, though you're going to have instances where those are sticking out kind of funny. They definitely look the best in the front there, so just keep that in mind. But the hinge joint also allows the neck to move the head up and down like that, so pretty great range of motion there. The shoulders can come all the way out to the side, move forwards and backwards. You got a swivel at that bicep. You've got double joints at the elbow there, which are very, very nice. You got a swivel up here at the wrist, as well as hinge joints on the wrists. These are also interchangeable hands, so we'll come back to those in a minute. We've got an ab crunch there at the torso, and it's very tight. You can actually hear the clicking. It's a nice ratchet joint in there. So good range of motion there, and he holds just fine. There's nothing bobbing or anything on there, which is very nice. Swivel at the waist. You do have the ball joints at the thighs there, so the legs can go outwards, forwards, backwards. We got a swivel at the thigh cut. We do have double jointed knees underneath those knee pads there. You can see how they're kind of like scooped out, hollowed out on the inside there, so they cover the knees very nicely. It does not appear that the boots swivel up here, but the ankles themselves, we have hinges, so we got those great monkey feet there. So the feet can go forwards and backwards, and they do also rock side to side. So all of this feels really good. I do want to point out the plastic that's kind of over the feet there, like the armor that hangs over the feet, it is a bit softer in this spot, so it is flexible, which is really good, so it doesn't hinder the movement whatsoever. You can see when I bend the ankle forwards, it comes right up with the foot, so I do appreciate that as well. So all in all, this is very nice. I think it functions really well. All of the articulation feels really good, and you should be able to get some pretty decent poses out of this guy. Okay, so I mentioned the interchangeable hands, so I do want to talk about that first and foremost before we get to the rest of the accessories. You'll notice right now I've got them with the closed fists, but aside from that, we also get a set of gripping hands here, and we also get a set of more opened hands. So it's actually really easy to swap these out. You can just pull on the hand, it comes right out of the socket. You can see nice pegs there. And then we can let's do the gripping hands here. We're going to plug those in place. You can see it's a nice solid click. It actually does kind of like a double click because of the way those pegs are designed. But they are nice and tight. They hold really well, but they're not too difficult to swap in and out. So I do appreciate that quite a bit. So I went ahead and put the two gripping hands on there right now just so that we can start messing around with some of the accessories because he's got a ton of those. So first of all, we do have a couple different types of swords here. All of the handles are going to have this sort of maroonish color, very similar to his armor, and then the blades have a really nice sort of like gunmetal shine to them, so nice silver. So we got a couple different types of swords here, which are very nice. I do want to point out too, on the back, you can see the little bandolier type strap he's wearing. It does have a holster there. So some of these weapons can be holstered on his back. This sword seems to work the best right here. It's also my favorite one to put on his back. Some of the other ones don't fit quite as well. Like this sword here, you could put on there, but you can see it doesn't sit quite as well because the blade is thinner. We also have this axe accessory, which is very cool, and this one also works. That strap is pliable enough that it can wrap right around the handle there, and you can put the axe on his back as well too. So pretty cool stuff. And then in addition to the axe and the two swords, we also get two of these smaller little curved daggers here, which are also really, really nice. And he holds onto all these weapons with a good tight grip. I like that quite a bit. All of them work very well. And I do like that you could store at least one of those weapons on his back. So we've got quite the armory here for Pale. He can be armed up with lots of different bladed weapons, whichever one you like the best. And that's going to do it for my look at Pale from the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom lineup. All in all, I am really impressed with this figure. I like him quite a bit. I love this new scale, but this is sort of like my preferred scale of action figures anyway. But scaling these up to the 6-7 inch mark works very well for these. And I think that they're going to fit in nicely with some of the other figures that are similar, sort of like Mythic Legions. But everything feels great on here. As I mentioned, articulation is really nice. The joints feel really good. The plastic feels quality made, and he's got some very fun accessories as well. So these guys are available for pre-order right now, but they're going to be shipping in February. So the first wave should be shipping very, very soon. You can check out the selection over at SperoToys.com. I want to give a very special thanks to Spero for sending this over and get a good look at it outside of the packaging. Thank you guys so very much for watching this video, and until next time.